Hey everyone, Scott here, and we've got a Bible in a box. Picked this up at Half Price Books for $15 back in October, and it's an RSV Catholic edition, the first RSV Catholic edition. Originally sold, it's hard to see, but originally sold for $12.50 back in the 1970s, and it's black genuine leather, and it is an absolutely pretty much perfect condition. I don't think it left this box very much, which is sad because somebody obviously received it and did not read it. See, it still has the guaranteed for life, Nelson Bible, Thomas Nelson Incorporated. So that's really cool. I mean, everything's here, it seems like. Stamped there. I think it's hard to see on camera, but it's stamped genuine leather. The leather's okay. It has that kind of plasticky feel. It almost feels more like a bonded leather, but I mean, it is a genuine leather. Holy Bible Revised Standard Version, Catholic Edition, Nelson. Single ribbon marker, which is a little bit frayed there, but. And the gilding, you can see it's pretty good shape. I think there's a dedication there. Yep. I don't want to show the name, but I'll just tell you it's Christmas 1971 is when it was given, and I think it just sat in that box for the last 50 years. So we have Holy Bible, RSV Catholic Edition. So this is what happened was they took the first edition of the RSV and some small changes were made, and then it received the approval for use in the Catholic Church. And there has since been a second update, the RSV-2CE, I think they call that. This is the original, so, and it tells you about it. And you got names in order of the books of the Old Testament, abbreviations. We have key to pronunciation of proper names. And then we're into Genesis. We've got a double column layout. It goes into the gutter pretty seriously into the gutter, as we often see on older Bibles. You'd have to really pull that apart to see that, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to hurt the binding, but notes are in the, looks like the bottom right corner. Is that, yeah, bottom right corner of each page has the notes. Okay. Go ahead and jump. Of course, this is a Catholic edition, so you can see for those like me who are Protestant, of course, you're going to see some books that we don't have in our Bibles, like the Wisdom of Solomon. And things are in the order, in the Catholic order. So like there's the additions to Daniel. They're in Daniel. They're not separate like you'd have when you have a Bible with the Protestant canon plus Apocrypha, because they're not apocryphal in here. So there's Maccabees. Okay, and then here's the New Testament, prepared by the Catholic Biblical Association of Great Britain. Name and order of the books, New Testament, and Gospel according to Matthew. That page looked like it was printed a little light, I think. No, it's all right. I'm looking at things through the camera. It is self-pronouncing text, and it has a lot of self-pronouncing marks, which I'm not a fan of myself. But you can see the names here in the genealogy. A lot of self-pronouncing marks. I know The other RSV I'm familiar with is the New Oxford Annotated Bible. I know it has some self-pronouncing marks, but this has more. I don't have one nearby to compare, but I've looked at them both together, and this has a lot more marks. Anyways, black letter text. And we'll jump to the back. Just taking a quick look at this today. We're not going into a lot of detail. I just wanted to show it because it is such a nice Bible for being 50 years old. It is in wonderful condition. Like I say, somebody sadly did not read their Bible. All right, so in the back, our first appendix is some explanatory notes. Looks like just for the New Testament. Maybe there were some for the Old Testament and I missed them. I'm not sure. Anyways, a few pages of this, and there we go. Then we have our second appendix is a list of changes in the Revised Standard Version New Testament for the Catholic edition. And so that shows us where things were changed. We can see, and we'll just start with the top here. Matthew 1:19, the RSV has divorce her. The RSV Catholic edition has send her away. So that's a textual change. And then there's some where there is a footnote change. Actually, the very next entry, Matthew 12:46, the RSV has brothers. The RSV-CE changes that to brethren, which actually I like that. I like brethren. And I think it fits the RSV well. So then what they've done is they've changed the footnote, which said brothers, and changed it to say brethren. I wonder if they meant, oh, no, I'm sorry. That was in Matthew 12:47. Is that the same change? Sorry, I'm getting confused as I record this. Well, that's going in the video because I'm not going to re-record. Anyways, so that's an example of a change. They've changed divorce her to send her away, brothers to brethren. You see here, Matthew 27:24, this man's blood to this righteous man's blood. They note that other ancient authorities have that reading. So it's not a lot of changes. You see, it's just takes a few pages here to cover all of them. And from what I've seen, I don't think most of them are anything that a lot of Christians would really argue with. A lot of them are just choosing a different textual basis or adding in something that had been moved or removed in the original RSV. We have, is that the, yeah, that's the longer ending to Mark. So, yeah, things like that. Pretty minimal. I think maybe the Old Testament, they didn't change anything. I can't remember off for sure. I think in the Old Testament, they just added in the deuterocanonical books and sections where they need them to be and put things in the order that you would have in a Catholic Bible, but there were no changes to the actual text, just a few in the New Testament. Yeah, that's basically it. Liners, feels kind of plasticky, textured kind of thing. Not bad. I don't think it's a sewn binding. I think it's just glued, but it's the kind of thing we'd expect 50 years ago. We didn't always, not that there weren't Bibles back then that had those things, but you had a lot that didn't. I feel like these days every Bible is getting really well made because people have really come to expect it. But it didn't used to be the case. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed seeing it. I am not going to keep this one. I know somebody who'd like to have it, who is a Catholic, who's a huge fan of the RSV-CE, the original, and I am going to send it to him. But wanted to show it to you while I had it. Thanks for watching. God bless, and we'll see you for the next video, friends.